Okay, hello guys, welcome to Pikachu!
In Pikachu, we'll be answering your Q&A session that you post in the comment down below with the hashtag Pikachu.
And today's topic we're going to talk about upper floorings.
Okay, so in order to prepare for this Q&A session, we conduct a site visit in USJ 12.
As you can see, the building is 9-story tall and is opposite of USJ 9 Taipan. We are able to get access because the head of the QS is actually Kevin's dad!
Okay, enough guys, let's begin the Q&A session.
So first of all, we're going to talk about the construction of the columns, because you need to build up the column before you build up the slabs and so forth. And before you start off with the formworks, you must place the rebars correctly, so you have to set it up correctly first and you have to fabricate it. So after fabricating, you're going to have to put timber and plywood around it, also known as your formwork, and then you're going to use also timber to tidy it up and make it tight. And you have to use the leveling just so to make sure that it's lined up correctly and in 90 degrees. So by the end of the day, you're going to have to make it straight, tighten it up, and then only then you can pour in the concrete. Pour it until the soffit of the beam. Okay, then come in your formwork, and then your formwork is going to be supported by using scaffolding and other part of the wood that looks like a jungle. So fun fact is that the columns, the floor, and also the beams are all done straight away in one go.
You don't cast the column first. You let the formwork up to the slab together. Oh, connect.
So basically, the formwork is the one that support the slab.
Slab and beam. Column, beam, slab together.
That's the formwork.
But what is the purpose of doing this? Like just build together? To make it fast.
And after the formwork is placed, they just straight out put in the concrete in. In 6 days after, the guy who made the whole process, which is Kevin's dad, he will have to strike off the formwork, and then after that, there will be a roof.
So formwork. The formwork we are using on the site is actually using a plywood formwork. So when we talk about doing a formwork, we are using something is called mold oil. So what is a mold oil? Mold oil is actually something to prevent the formwork to stick with the concrete. So when we pour the concrete into the formwork, the concrete is actually the liquid state. Once it is set, it will turn to become a solid state. So what will actually happen is if you apply not enough mold oil on the surface of the formwork, the concrete will actually stick to the formwork, and when the time you want to take off the formwork, it will actually rip off the formwork and left it on the column. So here is an example of apply not enough mold oil. So basically, we need a proper way to manage the formwork in order to use as many times as possible on the site. So it actually will also save the cost. So if problem were to occur such as not applying enough mold oil, as you can see the formwork, bit will stuck to the concrete, making it look ugly. We just simply do the plastering to cover it up. As for how many times can a formwork be reused, basically it depends on the worker itself and also the environment. Let's say if the site is too humid, it will actually affect the durability and the strength of the formwork. For this typical site that we went, Mr. Lee said it could be reused for 3 floors.
You see this string? If you want your, obviously here there's a triangular piece, right? Yeah. There's a triangular piece. But how do you form this triangular piece? On paper you can draw, but you're doing in the air, right? So what they do setting up, when they want to set up where you stop and where you terminate, that's where they do the string. The string that you ask. Right?
So, what is plumbing? Plumbing may be split to plumbing of clogged pipe and also toilet, as shown in this video. So if you went to the inside part of a building, you'll pretty much see a lot of strings beside the brick wall, beside the staircase, as if it's an indicator and sensitives for the construction site. So basically the thread is a light orange colored string like this. This string is vertical and perpendicular to any level playing through which it passes. The picture beside me shows how it is installed using a plumb bob. So what is a plumb bob? A plumb bob employs the law of gravity to establish what is plumb, that is to determine whether it is vertical or true. In a sense, the plumb bob is the vertical equivalent of the line level. Let's take this string as an example of plumb bob. So basically, at one end of a string like this, there is a wick affixed. The wick is there to ensure that the line is always vertical when it's not moving. So the application is just like this. Simply put it there and ensure it doesn't move. There, a vertical lane which is called plumb.
This bulging, we have only two ways of solving it. One is you have to chip it back to nicely. The other way is, as Alex says, as the ladies would like, you just do a lot of plastering to it and make it thicker.
Oh yeah.
Right? Just like ladies would never worry about pimples, right? Just the plastering will solve it.
For every uneven surface of the concrete, like a bulging column, we usually cover it using plastering or skimming, or even both. For plastering provides a smooth surface. However, this requires excellent plastering skills. As you can see from the video, this is well depends on the expertise level and experience. Besides giving smooth surface, plastering increases the fire resistance on a building and gives a wall wear resistance. It also gives the wall a better appearance itself. Originally, when you finish hardening a column concrete, the edge is not exactly 90 degrees and flat as shown in the elevation of the floor plan. At the side itself, it could be bulgy and have tons of small holes on it, and the edge, such as the staircase, is really uneven. Just like a woman's hobby, it requires a cosmetic makeup as mentioned by Mr. Lee. It is a necessity if you don't want the architect to be childish and mad at us. So, how it is done? With plaster beads! A plaster bead is installed around the edge of the column and act as the limit. Thus, plastering works become much more easier. Plaster beads are cheap as they are made from aluminium and is permanently installed. If it is installed in a space that everyone cares, such as office and living building. If it is a basement, who the hell care about how it look like? As you can see, plastering is best done on an uneven surface such as brick wall, in order to give it an aesthetic value and also a smooth surface, because no one wants to have a rough and uneven surface as a wall. So skimming is a name given to a plastering technique. There are many skim mixtures. Skimming is a plastering layer of thin coat. The thickness normally used is 5 mm thick and can be applied on top of plastering layer. It is applied to an existing plaster to upgrade the surface. Doing a skimming job is a very difficult task. It needs much extension in order to guarantee a smooth surface. The surface level can vary from a thick layer to a thin one. However, the thickness of the surface itself is based on the client's requirement. Here are a wall of fair face brick wall. This type of wall needs smooth and unplastered surface. The wall can be maintained but preferably thickened by skimming up to 50 mm thick through base coat and top coat.
See, this is quite, we call fair. If you heard of the term fair face, as compared with brick wall, brick is very rough. That kind of brick is very rough. You see the surface is very rough. This one almost look good. Right? This almost look good, but not still good enough. But it's actually quite flat already. When you put brick, when you later you see one brick wall without plastering, and if you stand one side and try to look down, you will see wavy, all kind of stuff. But this product is a fair face block wall. It comes in a big block. Yeah, it comes in a big block as opposed to a brick like that. And then it's called fair face because it's actually quite flat. If you stand here and look down, it's almost quite straight already.
As you can see, a parapet wall is like a fence around the perimeter of the upper rooftop. It is basically a low wall or a protective barrier at the edge of a terrace or on the side of a bridge. In modern use, one is constructed to provide a barrier to prevent people or objects from falling down from the edge of the structure and to slow the spread of fire. Hey, don't jump! Here is the parapet wall under construction on the rooftop. Without this, I can still jump and kill myself if I want to. Don't do it, please. So, the junction box will not be like your typical lunch box. An electrical junction box is a container for electrical connection, usually intended to conceal them from sight and later temporary. It might form part of an electrical conduit or TPS wiring system in a building. As you can see, the junction box is made of hard plastic and it is installed before concreting. Nowadays, a safety switch that allows the connections made within the box to be shut down in an emergency. It's a good question. Before a building structure is finished, the pipework is still not complete. So, how will they get water? For small buildings like the site we have visited, Mr. Lee said that they will have a water tank filled and carried out by the mobile crane one by one. If a building as tall as 25-story building, they will pump the water out using the water jet or some sort of water pump.
The bits sticking out are called starter bars. They basically make the construction process a lot simpler for the guys on the ground. Why we need this? We need starter bar because when you talk about reinforcement, we talk about continuum of reinforcement. Reinforcement terminates no strength, but instead it passes through from one column to another. So what actually happens is, structure below come out with starter bar, and the top bar will be lapped and tied together. Why it can't be tied vertically to save cost? See, even a girl can break it. You need to be lapped so it can be strong. See? It still hold on. So here's an example of starter bar inside. As you can see, it is connected by lapping and tied together by links and have a center to center gap between them, which will be checked by the engineer. Normally an error of 1 inch is of tolerance. It is a minimum allowed by the engineer is 20 millimeters.
So if the project is small, then we can do floor by floor. But if let's say the project is very big, like say for example Mid Valley, then of course we have to switch from floor to floor to zone by zone lah. So I guess that answer the questions.
Huh? Let's see what Mr. Lee said.
This is nice story. Nice story in construction is a bit like writing one cover page of a letter, right? It's that simple. Nice story is not that. Our friend doesn't even bother about it.
So, nice story building is like nothing because everything is repetitive. Column, slab, column, slab, column, slab, roof. Somehow the grid line or the floor plan is really easy that the contractor in charge actually don't even care. Scaffold, it will be hard to be explained. So, in a site, typically, a scaffolding is used as an equipment to create a temporary access to an area which is hard to reach. So, in the site that we went, the type of scaffolding they are using is actually called independent scaffolding. So, it is actually surrounded at the exterior of the buildings and allowing the access to each floor to allow us to do the construction, such as brickwork and suspended slab. In the side, you could also see the second function of scaffolding is a jungle of scaffolding. It acts as a support for the formwork. As you can see, below the slab will be a beam to increase the surface area and allowing loads to be equally directed to the steel scaffolding below. This suspender is stronger and faster, only needs more work on tightening with columns. If column fall first, then game's over. So, the installation and dismantling takes around 2 weeks for each floor.
So, do they mix the concrete on the upper floor? The answer is no. Why? Because there's a thing called mobile crane. As everybody well known of mobile crane carries stuff such as building structures and materials to higher ground in a short time. But how do they carry all this concrete? It is done by tiers. They are first mixed on ground according to the desired strength. The crane will then position its bucket beside the concrete truck and the bucket is fully filled. Afterwards, it will be carried to the finished formwork on the current floor construction. This is the first tiers. Buckets come in many sizes. For small sizes, it requires more tiers or round to place the right amount of concrete.
Those are anchor bolts. Anchor bolts are used as a foundation for the steel column. They are installed during pouring concrete of the slab. How? The bolts and plate are placed on the ground with formwork. Then concrete is poured and hardened on the ground. When the concrete is hardened and formwork removed, steel column is installed. After steel column is installed, the nuts are screwed into the bolts. Then you can install or do whatever you want on it and do on it or putting on the roof. Worst thing to wear at a construction site? Let's see what my dad told us back then.
Not wear shoes like that. It should be a safety shoe, even my shoes. But this is worse. So you film this and say, look, this is one of the worst things that can happen.
Worst case that is, the genius there walking into the site with slippers. Please do wear construction boots.
Okay guys, that's all for today. Thank you for watching Pikachu. So do remember, give us a like, and if you have any comments, just hashtag Pikachu. So I will see you next time. Thank you for watching Pikachu!
Say hello, say thank you to me.
Yeah. Come on. Thank you very much. Helping our project.
Alright, thank you very much.
Here goes, man. It's a pleasure to be with you.
Alright, thank you Alex for guiding us through the video. And it's a very helpful information you give us. Thank you. Yeah, we see you. Alright, let's go up. Alex, this is good. Take photo what? No, right?
Thank you, uncle. Uncle also what? So guys, this is all for today. We have done our side swimming, so yeah, I'll see you next time. Ciao man.
Wow. Yeah.
Man, I am for you.
Man. So actually we have done our side swimming. This is stupid, I actually can do like this. Yeah!
It's a big, you said this.
We finished our side swimming. Yeah!